Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Jesus fuck. Jesus. Okay. I am really late. Um, I am sorry. I had a lot of things to do, and I forgot how long they all took to do. So hopefully everything sounds fine, and I know that you can see this. I unfortunately have only one monitor now, which means I can't do the thing I was doing before. So you have to see infinity. Sorry about that. Yeah, man, I really can't even tell if it looks the way that it's supposed to because I can't view OBS anymore. Damn, that really sucks. Okay, well, this is what I'll have to go with, and I'll just hope that you can see the game. I can still see chat on my phone, which is good. But, yeah, can't see what the stream looks like. So please, if it looks bad, if you can't see the game, you can't hear anything, please tell me, and then I'll fix it, because that would really suck to have it not work. I'm gonna do my mandatory telling Instagram that I'm live thing. Here we go. You're gonna watch me do it as I do it. Oh my god, guys, you're never going to believe this. We're live right now at twitch.tv/offsetsolid. I started 15 minutes late. Okay, cool. That was pretty good, I think. Don't you guys think that was pretty good? That's what I would say. I think that was pretty good. I gotta put the link in right now. Twitch.tv/ not elfsetsolid. Elfsetsolid. That's my Christmas persona where I'm an elf. That's not true. I just came up with that. Okay. And we'll get started here in just a few moments. Let me see here. How do I do this thing? How do I do this thing, guys? Can someone tell me how to do the thing? Sorry. But Wolfpack is live right now. Wolfpack, no! How dare you take away from me? Okay, I'm going to copy this link. There we go. Just sent my stream link to some friends. It's just so that they know. Okay, yeah. Let me pull up the stream again on my phone real quick. I'll also be putting my phone on Do Not Disturb. Okay. Hi. Yeah. So, started pretty late, but we're going now. And of course, I don't know if you remember the last time I got my aha peach and honey sparkling water. Sponsored, but I'm not sponsored, and I don't think I can say that I am. Otherwise, I'd be like murdered. No, I don't know. It's probably fine, but it was good stuff. Anyway, if you remember the last time that we played this, I had a talk with whoever this weird entity is, and they were like, so from now on, every time you open the game, we're gonna put the number at the end of the title up by 1, and we'll make a new crazy title to go along with it. So I get to choose a new title, guys. The Stanley Parable 4. It's either me or the explosion. It's either me or skeleton. You gotta pick. It's either me or circles. I like the idea that like it's this ultimatum of like it's either my life or all circles in the universe. Like the concept of circles is just gone. There will be no more circles. The ghoulish train state. That's not very good. Race to the skeleton. Race to the train station. That actually sounds pretty sick. What if there were like the Stanley Parable racing game? Actually, the train station reminds me of another game that Davey Reedon made called The Beginner's Guide, which is very Stanley Parable-esque and is really good, where one of the last levels is a train station. So, like, you know, crossover, you know? Evil coworkers. That could just be a Stanley Parable-like theory. Evil ice. Sick stage name. Evil circles. Lord of the ice. Lord of the coworkers. I like it's either me or circles. or these circles. Either me or the circles. I like that. We're gonna go with that. Yes! I love this. Which, it makes me wonder, like, how many of these fake title screens did they put into the game? Because this one's different from last time. Before we had, like, it was like a desert and there was a car driving by. So, I don't know. We'll see. Speaking of Stanley Parable, welcome back to Stanley Parable. Let's get the intro. So, if you recall, this chair still doesn't have collision on it. I'm going to pause it actually real quick. So the last time we did this, I said that my priorities for this episode would be getting all of the original endings from the first game to make sure there's no changes, or to see the changes if there are any, and then do them all again with the bucket. I'm not sure if that will make for good content, but it's something that I want to do, and since I've been streaming all of my playing of this game already, I figured I would just keep doing it. So if you don't want to watch, you can leave, and that's cool. I just thought, you know, I would like to do it. So, what do we think we should go for next? There's a lot of ways we haven't gone still. I've been wanting to do one of my personal favorite endings, and I know that it's a friend of mine's favorites too. In fact, real quickly, before I continue, I'm going to paste this link in another place so people can see it. Okay. Great. So I will now begin. So like I said, I'm going to do one of my favorite endings to see if anything has changed in the Ultra Deluxe version, which is, well,
all of his co-workers were gone. What could
I'm not
it
going to
mean?
say anything.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
We will be ignoring the bucket for now. I'm so sorry, bucket. I'm so sorry. I can't take you right now. I can't do it. And I'm not going down the new content door because I think we've seen all there is to see over there.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yes.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Is this paper always on the floor? I don't know. We'll see. I know that,
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager
Yes,
to get back to
truly.
business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
no. This game likes to change up little things on
Stanley
you.
was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Me?
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
Oh, man.
Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
And by the way,
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Oh, yeah, man. So I'm not doing the apartment ending. I'm doing a different one. So not the one that we did last time.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her.
Oh, yeah.
If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Yeah, you could do that. But I remember, so actually very late in my time of playing the original, I was replaying this ending, and I was like, wait a minute, this phone has a very obvious cord. Could you unplug the cord?
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll
Now we know
credits.
that doesn't happen, though.
Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action.
Oh.
How is that even possible?
That's subjective.
None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices.
Yeah.
And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world.
I forgot about this part.
Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice.
Yeah.
It's the best part of being a real person.
All right, guys.
But if
listen
used
close, this is
incorrectly,
very
it can
important.
also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice.
Rupert.
He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages
Oh, this is
across
different.
the world
This
to
is
make
different.
life better for all people.
Yeah.
Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Of what? Oh.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the
I was
best
gonna
part
do
to
it,
a
but the
healthy
camera's gonna be funny.
decision-making
That
process.
time period was so
Most
short.
medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant,
Well, that's
and the
good.
feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
All right.
Ah, welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been.
Sure.
This way, please.
Okay. I guess we're going back. That room was certainly very weird. Oh, and now we can't jump off the... I see.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse.
Right.
Unfortunately,
That's what I
it
would
seems
say
this place
also.
is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Alright. Do not lie. If you are lying right now, stop. Okay, well, we're going back, guys. We have to learn the consequences of narrative contradictions. Very important.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Okay.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Well, I mean, I could do that. But what if I, like, didn't, you know? I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Whoa, look at this. Oh, this is actually sick. I love the, like, the way this looks. That cabinet in particular is just really fucked. I'm so sorry. That's a good number. Okay, let's go the other way. See if we've fucked it too hard. Oh, maybe things are fine. Or not. This looks weird.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that?
Doors over there.
I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Good. This was a great idea.
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Sure. Okay. Well, we're back here. We did the right door, and it didn't go very well. So let's give the narrator the benefit of the doubt here, for once, and we'll take the left-hand door. Oh, well, this is oddly comforting.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
What about the broom closet? Oh, I can't go in the broom closet. Oh, and I can't go down the
Coming
stairs.
to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, fine. You know, if you were gonna give me the choice of the doors, why block off everything else? Or vice versa, I guess. Ooh, it's green. Why is it green? Wait a minute. Just have to check. Wow, this is not the office.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Nightshark 115. I don't think that works.
Stanley spoke the code. Nightshark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to, but that's not a feature in the game. That's your fault. That's on you, narrator.
I'm sorry, is there a problem?
Yes.
You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Sewage, lilies,
Okay,
odd money.
fine. You're not going to do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak.
I already went
Say
the other
something to
way.
me. Explain yourself, you coward.
I just...
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
I love that ending. That's great. Because, like, it feels much more poignant because the credits roll there and they don't do that at any other ending. You know, normally it just... It throws you out and says the end is never the end, and blah, blah, and it loads this again. But that one had credits, and I always think that's really cool because that means that the ending is really important, and it is, because, you know, it sort of shows that, you know, the narrator can't function without a character, without, a Stanley. It sort of makes it's like, oh, he's learned his lesson that he can't, like, because he was so angry at Stanley, but at the same time he can't, exist without him, which I think is really cool. It's sort of, I don't know if like it's not poking fun at, but like it's sort of, referencing sort of the workings of a story and how they work together. Because there's that other ending that we found where we kept pressing the skip button and we were skipping like all his dialogue and stuff, and eventually he was gone, and then we were left in this like vast desert, and we, the story couldn't progress because there wasn't, he wasn't around. And then there's the museum ending where there's that separate narrator who's like, can't you see how much they need each other? And it's like, yeah, of course they do, but it's still weird to think about because it's still just a game that, you're playing. You're both playing the game, but also, writing the story as you go, in a way. And I think that's cool.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Yes.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It's also just cool to see the office in that sort of dilapidated state. Yeah.
When Stanley
cool.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
We could do the Mariella ending. I don't think I've done that one yet.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Now we will go down. This paper is very bright. Why does it sound like there's someone on the stairs? Maybe that's just the sound of, like, the pipes, but it really sounded like there was someone else on the stairs for a second. That would have scared the shit out of me.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
he considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that.
Yeah.
And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy.
Silly.
And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Maybe.
All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense.
No.
And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
Duh.
Oh, what
Of
a
course.
relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still
Look
not
at these
woken
little
up.
stars.
How was he remaining so lucid?
Yo,
And then
what's up?
perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking. Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that?
Right.
This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back.
I can still see something.
The fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up,
Do y'all see that?
he thought to himself. I'm through with
I
this
think that's how
dream.
that's supposed to look.
I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Lol. Just kidding.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Nice.
This is
Awesome.
the story of a woman named Mariella.
There she is.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Good for you, Mariella. Glad you could use Stanley's insanity to, you know, feel better about yourself. Okay, as far as I can remember, there's only one more ending to do. I think I've gotten all of them. Let me check real quick. I remember... Damn. I used to have a note of all the Stanley Parable endings. But, you know, I want to make sure that I got all of them. Heaven. Oh, weird. That's actually one I haven't gotten before. What the hell? What? I didn't know that you could do that. Okay, sorry. There's one that Wait, was the elevator ending always in the game? Alright, there's that one. Right. Okay. So there's a few that I haven't done actually. So wait, so I'm forgetting which ones they were now. Right. Okay. So, I'm not gonna do the art ending, by the way, which is the one where you play the baby game for 4 hours. I'm not gonna happen. Sorry.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, I'm gonna do an ending that I've never done before.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Original game. So, yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yet there was not a single person
We'll both
here
discover
either.
it together.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'm going a little fast. I feel like there was a way to get in that room. Cause look, there's like stuff in there. You can see it. You can see it in there. There's a room in there. I don't know.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
So I have my phone set up here on my desk, and it's like leaning up against a thing, and my can was right in front of it, and it almost slid and knocked the can off. That would have sucked.
It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
Also, at some point, I'll have to check if this
it had never
ending
occurred
with
to
the
him.
elevator
This question would not go unanswered for
is
long.
a thing you can do in the first game, because I had never known of that before.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Okay. So it should be here that you can do a
The lights
glitch.
rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
So I can just
Did
kind
he have the
of
strength to find out? Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome! You
Thanks.
see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, We knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours, so here you go.
Thanks.
New content.
New content.
You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content? Always more content, more content, more. And I'm here to give it to you.
Thank you so much.
I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game.
Yes.
With secrets and Easter eggs.
Yes.
How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game.
Yes.
It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are. We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Wow, thanks.
Good job, you did it. Good job.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful. It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams.
Oh, halftime section.
Don't mean anything. Good job, you did it. 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 Good job.
Wow, so much validation.
Good job, you did it. Good job, you did it.
Yeah! Oh, wow, okay, that was actually... Oh, fucking God. I
All of his
fucking love this
co-workers
game.
were gone. What
That
could
was
it
so
mean?
that was so good.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, by the way, if you notice that I look this way every time, it's because I know that in the original game there is an Easter egg where sometimes when you start the game, another version of Stanley is walking along here. And I don't know if that was actually real, and I don't know if it's in this version of the game, but
When
I keep
Stanley
checking
came
just in
to a
case.
set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Now I will do the actual last ending.
This
Aside
was
from the
not the
beta game
correct way
ending.
to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes.
Wow.
This room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yo, is that Jesus Soap from Jesus Soap? Hello.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so this is, I believe this is the last ending before I start doing them with the bucket, and it's just this. Oh, fuck, hold on. Come on.
Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You'd best either get comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck by jumping to the floor below. You know what? Looking at it now, it's not that far to the bottom floor. I bet you can make it.
I can make it to that truck.
Whoops.
Or not.
Looks like I was wrong. How clumsy of me.
Damn. That was the whole ending. Yes, it's Jesus Soap from Jesus Soap. Wow. Oh my god. I'm starstruck. Yes.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Oh, all the computers say the end is never the end. Oh, well, not that one. Wild. Alright, man. Alright, guys.
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
Great. Oh, I'm so excited to go on adventures with the bucket. Here we go. Here we go, guys. It's time. What shall we do? Okay.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yes. The bucket appears to be in the same place it was before, but I'm still going to imagine that I've brought it tightly to my chest.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
Yes, it's
Perhaps his
so
boss's
hard.
office was where he'd find answers.
Yes.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's
The
office.
bucket walked? I don't think so.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
All right. Thanks, Neil.
Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would.
The bucket
and
would.
he knew it. The two of them were inseparable.
Oh, yeah.
At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the
Oh,
boss's
yes. I would
desk.
have never noticed the
Nor in his
keypad.
bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Yes. Come on.
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along?
Maybe.
Was the bucket guiding him?
Maybe.
Yes. This is certainly the most logical explanation.
Yes. So my plan, by the way, is to get the countdown
The elevator
ending
raced downward, plummeting
With the bucket.
towards an unknown fate.
to see if it changes at all.
It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
All right, guys.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Oh, that was weird. Okay.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television
I
screens.
could fall to the bottom again.
What horrible secret did this place hold?
Oh,
Stanley
weird.
and the bucket
Numbers.
both wondered to themselves.
I wonder if those numbers mean anything.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone
I
in
love
the
how
office was
literally
being
every
videotaped,
line is
monitored
changed
like guinea
for this.
pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley
Oh.
cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Employee observation protocol. Wait a minute. Oh, I wish I could look at that better. I can barely see it though. Is my resolution what it's supposed to be? I feel like I've checked this a bunch of times. Video. Yeah, that's it. I don't know. Yeah.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't
bucket.
accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Yes.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Hell yeah. Just kidding.
But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and
the
pressed
bucket.
the button to
No,
turn
bucket.
on the
How
controls.
could you? That was
Stanley
totally
gasped
your fault.
in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself?
Must have been.
How could the bucket have betrayed him like this?
How could you,
Stanley was
bucket?
prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds.
Yes.
The control buttons became active again.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands,
that's a good
the one
word.
who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
Aw, nice. Honestly, happy for them. Great, we found the bird ending.
All his
Oh, did you
co-workers
get the
were gone.
bird ending?
What could it mean?
The bird ending.
Stanley
was
decided to
my
go to the meeting
favorite.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
Oh,
memo.
it's raining again.
A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed
Humble
bucket,
bucket.
a bucket of culture and distinction.
Yes.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on
All
his
right,
left.
now we'll go down the escape route with the bucket. The museum ending.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along?
Oh, so I can skip
Was
that
the
part
bucket
if I have the
guiding
bucket.
him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Yes. I've been very sleep deprived these past few months. Shout out to going to sleep at 3 a.m. every night. Very
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
But what if we didn't?
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Great.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
True.
At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Each of them. Well, good times, friends. Well,
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be.
wow.
To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket. But what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere.
Wow.
Farewell, Stanley.
Mean to the bucket.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator. as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end.
Just the bucket?
As it was crushed violently to death.
Wait, so what happened to Stanley then? Just the bucket died?
It was a shame, the death of such a
this is
magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
So true. Oh my god, there's so much. Welcome to the bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the precipice? I have never seen that word before. I don't know how to pronounce it. Of knowledge. Much like the bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within, a cavernous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Oh man. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself or your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in ignorance and darkness? Well, we'll see, I guess. Oh my god, it's literally all different.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own?
Oh.
Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Wow. I guess they took my bucket. Alright, buy bucket. Wow. 25, that's a little more than 25 buckets. A photograph of 25 buckets. The greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photographer experienced catonic shock for several weeks. As a result, the euphoria from exposure to this many buckets at once. That's definitely 25 buckets. No more than 25 buckets. A bucket with 2 handles. This bucket is depicted as having 2 handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. Dozens? Every year? Is this the bottomless pit from earlier? We'll never know. Yo, old bucket. Inferno bucket, a replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains: no one can control a bucket. So true. I'm always saying this. Oh, those sounds scared me. Cave drawing. While we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts an early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, how they can judge humanity to be worthy of its treasures. So true.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Right. There's so many ways that are blocked off. Ah, the hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that it always out of reach. This distance, inevitably, is for our own good. Well, we could fall into the pit. I'm going to give it a second, though, because there was more back where I came from, and I don't want to miss anything. This is very important. All this discovery. Oh, my. Ah, the stress bucket, an analogy presented without commentary. Worrying, negative forecasting, negative thinking, lack of reassurance. The ability equals size and strength of the bucket. Coping strategies. Holes. Rest and relaxation. Do something you enjoy. Rest and relaxation. Stress equals the level of water in the bucket. Interesting. Makes perfect sense. Okay. Well, guys, it's time to experience the gap between bucket and man. Oh, never mind.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together.
Yes.
The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Yes. Great. And now the bucket reigns supreme. Awesome.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
And it's back.
The embrace of an old friend. A weathered companionship that stands the test of time.
Yes.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yeah, okay. Let's do the Mariella ending now, but with the bucket.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
No, never.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
No.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that.
Yeah.
And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked
Am I
the bucket.
crazy, bucket?
The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all.
Did it?
That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the
How
bucket
is
is a
this
source
bucket
of
gazing at
guidance
me?
and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort.
Oh.
And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps.
No.
How did I end up with someone
What the
else's
fuck?
bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from
Oh,
this.
shit.
Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might
Where did I put it?
experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd.
What the fuck?
And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad.
Oh, no.
Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me! The bucket!
The bucket.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next.
Oh, God,
None of
there's
them
so
were
many
his.
buckets.
None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley! Find me!
Come on.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend.
you seen
it
my
was the only
bucket?
way to truly restore his sanity.
Please.
And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from.
This one has two handles.
Was inside of him all along.
What?
It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
Fuck. Well, shit.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
That one bucket had two handles.
Mariella woke up
It's too
on a day
dangerous,
like
man.
any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place.
Does everyone have buckets in this
But on
universe?
this particular day,
I
her
was so
walk
close
was
to the mic then,
interrupted by
sorry.
the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket.
No bucket.
Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place.
Damn.
How cruel the world can
How
be,
cruel.
Mariella thought. And she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Yeah! You go, Mariella. Great. Good for you, man. That was really good.
All
I
of
like
his
that a lot.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Oh, it's the other
Stanley
way.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Why is it the other way? Oh, God. Don't like that.
The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker.
Yes.
In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things.
Just maybe.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yes. Is there any other ending this way? I don't think... Oh, the broom closet? Look. Oh, wait. The bucket would be at home in the broom closet. Right? That kind of makes sense. Right? I don't know.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
Yes.
Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy.
That's what I was
It's as
saying.
clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
the bucket's right at home
I
in
can
here.
really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet
That's
is
what I'm
trying to say
saying.
here. It's
But
supposed
it
to
is-
go with the other
it's-
cleaning
it-
supplies.
It's my bucket.
Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how
I don't
hard
think I
it
even
must
can.
be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion
right.
and
My bucket.
lifelong friend.
Yes.
Can't hand it over.
Lifelong friend.
No. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket?
Wow.
Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends?
Wow.
That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient?
Okay.
That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I'd never.
I'd never.
Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together.
Yes.
Go through each of them point by point.
I mean...
Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the
Right.
years.
Those that
There
I
you
have.
have it.
Yeah. Man, broom closet, you really suck. Fuck you. I don't like you. I mean,
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go.
There we go.
There.
I mean, look at that.
Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take our
How-
hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their
Diatribes,
relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Literally. How could you argue with that sticker? Come on.
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see?
Nice.
I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket.
True.
That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket.
That is the
There
thing I have
really
trouble
is a
with.
wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Yes. Got any more stickers?
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Alright. What if I... Hold on.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Well... I wanna, I don't think there would have been any more to that ending, honestly.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
Interesting. Oh, the stickers are still there!
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow.
Very.
Very lucky indeed.
Very lucky indeed.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Is that what that always looks like? I don't know.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Thanks, bucket. Okay, let's...
No, never mind.
No.
The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Let's do the confusion ending.
And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
With the bucket. I have a feeling this could be really cool. Because the confusion ending has so much.
Stanley, I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
Wow. Yay! All my friends.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much.
Aww.
It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel.
Red?
They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Who's driving? Who's driving?
Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Yeah, wait, I want to check out the broom closet first. Is there anything in the broom closet? Okay, I guess not. Let's go, guys. This is weird. I'm all for it, though. Let's go, man.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
What, the bucket? Better not be the bucket. I like the bucket. I'll have you know.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
What?
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
Oh, wait, hold on. No, I
Can
don't
you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does?
I
Surely
have
you
no
don't need
idea.
me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Oh, come on. Gotta be something else I can do here. I don't have to destroy the bucket.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the bucket destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait.
Just die.
Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the bucket destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality
I don't
traits.
care.
What other object in this game can you even say that about?
What about the bucket?
Broom closet? Certainly not.
Oh, no.
I wonder what sort of bucket destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the bucket destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the bucket destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
But I didn't kill the bucket, and that's all that matters. Whoa.
The bucket destroyer, my prized creation.
That's your
You had
prized
so much
creation?
potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
No, it wasn't. It was gonna kill my bucket. I would have been fucked up. What, that's it? Ah, fine. Fine. Want me to do it again,
All of his
but
co-workers
kill the
were gone.
bucket?
What could it mean? Stanley decided to
Fine.
go to the meeting room. It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent.
True.
Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded onward.
Why is there more hallway? Oh, there's so much more hallway. Why? Okay.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
No.
Well, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Okay. As much as it pains me, I'm gonna give the bucket
good
destroyer the
Stanley.
benefit
I'm
of the
glad
doubt.
you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
Yay, hi
You see,
everyone.
your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come
Why is the
together
broom
here
closet
because
here?
we
I
care
thought
about
we
you
weren't
very
friends.
much. It's this
Whatever.
bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure
The
Line and
fern.
the Broom Closet.
That's a good
because
one.
that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite
Pencil
jokes,
sharpener?
not this
Who cares about pencil
bucket
sharpener?
that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could
Yeah,
make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes. Whee! Look at that wacky
Who's in
line.
there?
Who
No one's
knows
in
where
there.
it'll go
Fine.
off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Yeah. Yeah. As much as it pains me, I do want to see another story with the Adventure Line.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is
So
all
let's-
about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up. Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the...
Wait. Would this get rid of the bucket from the game entirely? I feel like it might. And I don't want to do that yet. Okay. In light of I hadn't thought about
All
that
this
until
co-workers
now.
were
It's fucking
gone.
backwards again.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
That was weird.
Stanley cradled the bucket in a gentle embrace, protective, delicate,
In
assertive,
light of me
yet
wanting to do all the
compassionate.
endings
Stanley
with
clutched
the
the
bucket,
tightly to his chest.
I don't
This was not the correct
want
way
to
the
risk
meeting
putting
room.
it in the bucket
But Stanley
destroyer
had felt
and
the bucket
removing it from
calling
the
to
game
him,
entirely.
telling him that the
Because I feel like
employee
that might be a
lounge
thing
was
that would
simply
happen.
the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Okay.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
In this case,
No,
Said the bucket.
no.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Okay, I'll listen to the bucket.
Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Okay, okay.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him.
No.
It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious
You've also talked
fact.
about it like
He was firmly
gazing
convinced that
at
the
me,
bucket
and it has
had
no
spoken
eyes,
to him,
so, like, you
and
know.
he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
yes.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
With this dark room? Okay, bucket. I trust you, bucket.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Okay,
Pick up
bucket.
the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
All right. I trust the bucket. This bucket
This
would
is the
never go
sad
wrong.
story of a man named Stanley and his bucket.
What?
Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend.
Ouch.
And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
You said it was. Oh, can I move? Oh, I thought this was I thought it was a cutscene. Well, what's over here in the darkness? What do you mean there's nothing? Fine. Fine. Oop. Okay. Ah, the beige pages. And my suitcase, of course. Oh, well, this is quite nice. My bucket. Jazz music. Oh, I really want that poster. Jazz music. Oh, I really want a poster that just says jazz music now. Hey, bucket. Yeah.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders.
It doesn't matter. It's a
Whatever
bucket.
Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Well. Okay.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Yeah, go back to work.
Well, I'll try anyway. Stanley,
Wait,
can you hear
can
me?
I?
Listen to me.
No, I can't. It's no
It's
collision.
just a bucket. It can't think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
I mean, it provides comfort. Don't listen to the loud man. Press yes. I'll take you back, bucket.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened
Not
to.
orders.
Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Yes.
It's
All
sad.
that matters is
I suppose he
bucket.
doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket.
It is quite shiny.
Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
Right? Yes.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection, but
Bucket.
it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say?
It's because it's
Sturdier.
lovely.
More capable of transporting liquids.
Sure.
Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
To relive the... Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying mortar from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Because it is. It's lovely. Come on.
Oh no. I'm having feelings.
Oh, there's some more room.
Oh, no. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes, the bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket.
No,
give it
it's
to
my
me.
bucket.
Give me the bucket,
come on.
Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it, or I'll...
My bucket. I don't know what you want to do. Go back. I mean, I'd love to. Okay. Wow, that was really something, huh?
All of his co-workers were gone.
And we're
What
back.
could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
We're back, bucket.
Stanley's bucket. The only co-worker he would ever truly need.
I love the new, different like music, because it's not
Stanley
always the
clutched
same
the bucket
anymore.
tightly to his chest. This was not
That
the
ending
correct
was
way
great.
to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Ah, yes.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No. Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere
Okay.
else.
Now what
A
if
cargo
I
lift, yes.
unplug
Go
the
there.
phone
Good.
Said the bucket.
with the
Now
bucket?
ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
I can go in there.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Okay.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home where we can go about life together.
No.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
It's funny, Stanley.
Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult.
So true.
I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right
yes.
here. Let's take a look.
What is
Yeah.
comedic? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds?
Yes.
Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor.
Okay, good.
Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm dunny with the funny" now.
I'm dunny with the funny.
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy.
Yes.
Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times.
Sure.
Just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random.
Right.
And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence and who very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Right.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter.
Well.
I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Yes. I'm sure this will go... Where's the bucket sticker? Where's the How do I know if it's a bucket now? There isn't a bucket sticker on it. Come on, man.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept.
I'm sure I will.
The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me.
Yes.
Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
Yes. Oh, we're going back quite a long way. But, like, you know, all this time spending going back is just... you know, increasing the build-up to the joke, which will, of course, make it funnier. Thought they're sitting on that computer screen for a second. All right.
Here we go. You ready?
I'm so ready.
When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Okay. Okay.
No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to
that
the
was the
phone.
whole point.
Did you not even look at the instructional video?
Well,
I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
No, okay.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Oh, the way those two door sounds played over each other was... oh my god. Okay, so is this just the room with the phone? I hope it's the room with the phone. Okay.
Well, we're back at the phone already.
I know.
No. What's going on? There were supposed to be several rooms leading up to this.
Right.
There was supposed to be a build-up to this point.
That's what I'm saying.
A dramatic
Build-up.
display of remarkable comedic wit, which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room.
No.
What an egregious
You're right.
mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing.
Oh, come on.
I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling
right.
whelp. I think I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again. Yes, surely that will help me improve my...
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal, I think I saw it playing guitar. No. Getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes.
He's not even holding the bucket.
Instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos. Let's see.
Yes.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
the bucket sticker's back.
Is Stanley, without the bucket, really Stanley at all? No.
At this point,
no,
not really.
Surely not.
Okay.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
I guess, jump
Stanley
off
had felt the bucket
the cargo lift with
him,
the bucket,
telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend.
True.
So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms.
Oh.
How deeply touching.
So true. The Romeo and Juliet of buckets.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. As Stanley lifted his bucket,
there it is!
He felt a connection to all buckets everywhere.
Stanley!
This adventure, he decided,
My friend,
was for
me,
all
my
of them.
friend Stanley over there. I finally saw it. I've never seen it before, but I finally did. Yeah.
Stanley clutched the bucket.
Okay, now we'll do the cold feet ending, but with the
Way
bucket.
to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Yes.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
No.
Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Well, from here, it looks like the only way forward is down, since the lift won't be coming back, but that's okay. You've got a bucket. Did you know that buckets are routinely used as cushioning devices? It's true. You can fall on a bucket from literally any height and survive.
Really? Well, okay.
Whoops. Looks like I was wrong. How clumsy of me.
Yeah. I was thinking also, what about the ending?
I can't wait to tell this story to
in
my
the vent.
co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all? What new mysteries lay in store
With
for
the
our
tape
bucket-loving
recorder.
heroes today? Let's find out.
Let's go and look at it. I'm
Stanley
really curious
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was it? No, never mind.
No, never mind.
The bucket was wrong.
I also, after
Stanley
I do
took the
this,
door
I
on
want to
his
try
left to go back to the meeting room.
glitching out of the window.
No,
again.
Said the bucket.
No. Don't go to the meeting room.
Every
Go
time.
somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
All right, guys, vent time with the bucket. Whee! anything over here again? Nope. Will this just be the same? Didn't explore this room very thoroughly the last time I was here. Just kind of want to take a look around. There's stairs back there. Interesting. Can I, like, crouch under? No, I can't. Okay, Bucket. Is this any different with Bucket?
Okay. This is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels
I think this is
real
the same.
anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no
I'll listen through the whole thing
explanation
just to
for
make
it.
sure.
I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
Oh, goody. Goody good. Okay, so that was the same, unfortunately. But still cool to see that again, because honestly, I had forgotten what was in
How
that
long
tape.
was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Now this, Stanley thought to himself, this is a bucket. And indeed it was.
Wait a minute. I haven't done the elevator thing with the bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest
the one.
and entered the door on his left.
The one in the boss's office? Haven't done that yet.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Yes. Can I fall down here? I know that I used to be able to, but... Oh, wait, shit. Maybe I can't. Ah, I thought you can kind of get stuck there, but you can't fall. Lame. Okay. Alright. We're gonna send this elevator up and down over and over again. It's gonna be great.
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up?
It is different.
When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to
Really?
go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
Wow, Bucket. Not gonna respond to me. I see how it is. Bucket. Let's go try pressing 3.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button.
This is impressive of
He
Stanley.
took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life.
So fun.
Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket.
Wow.
How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
Alright, I've had enough of number 3. Quite a loud lamp. A lamp? Lamp. Light. Alright.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly. A hint of regret nagged in the back of Stanley's mind. Should he demonstrate the number 3 for the bucket again?
I have to. Come on. I mean,
No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
Wow. Really? This damn bucket's gone unresponsive. It's giving me the silent treatment. And what, over 3? It's a great number. It's a magic number.
Here we go, said Stanley. This time
on.
I'll really
Look
show
at that.
you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument,
That's the wrong
weaving a concerto
wail,
of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears, and the whole time he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to
bucket.
let him know
Look at
that
this
the
3.
bucket
This
appreciated
3
what
action.
he was doing.
Try action.
The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all, only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
Fine, bucket. You know what? Fine. I don't even care anymore.
Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
Surely. Surely this is a solution. Come on. We just gotta find it. We just gotta find the solution.
Said Stanley. I know what to do.
Yes.
I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart. He decided
What's
right
that
then
noise?
and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over.
Yes!
He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work.
Yes!
For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life.
So, we have seen all this before. I mean, at least I have. I wonder what that is over there on that desk. Or the couch. Can't really see it. But it was in a different context before. And now it's all about, oh yeah, Stanley made all this promotion stuff. I don't think this one was here before. An Evening with World Peace, baby. Lovely. Yep. 3 moment.
This was it. One last chance to win the bucket over. One opportunity to share a true connection with a loved one.
3 again. The Stanley story. What does this say? 3. That's the magic number. Yes, it is. Yeah! Popular song. I love that song. Shout out. That's the song I was referencing earlier. Shockingly 3-dimensional character. Yo, 3 stars. And then there's like a blurb about Stanley, but I can't read it. Don't like how these all look like eyes. Not a huge fan of that. Up again, down again, the Stanley Parable story. The dude who came up with pizza. Alright.
There was no one here. Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak, to listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting. He was a failure.
Come on!
And in that moment, Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously.
No!
There would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant.
So sad.
They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
Well, damn. All right. Fuck. Yeah, wow. I actually... There's a subtitle there for a second that I couldn't read.
All of his co-workers
The last
were
time
gone.
we were
What
at
could
that
it mean?
ending, there
Stanley
were actually
decided to
people.
go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had said, finally, yes.
Yes.
The bucket.
The
Yes,
bucket.
yes, yes. I love that bucket.
Before I go on, I believe this was an Easter egg in the first game.
Stanley took the bucket with him into this little hallway and closed the doors. This was their hideout. No one would ever find them here.
Yes.
Of course, no one would ever find them anyway because everyone was missing. But Stanley chose to ignore this fact and instead focus on how cool the hideout was.
Yes.
Just him and the bucket. Two renegade heroes against the world, inside their secret, undetectable hideout, here, next to room 417.
Yes.
What a treat.
What a treat. Truly. Is that the whole thing? Fine. Anyway.
Ah, no, apparently not.
I wanted to... Oh, wait. Could I do this? Guess not. Okay. Unless... Does that, like, secretly open this door? Nah. Okay. I thought maybe something like that. But I do want to try going out of bounds.
Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone?
To his cheek. I want to get out here again, if I can. Yes.
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear.
We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket! You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
said the bucket.
not since the
Evil wizard Gambharata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of...
No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like... My God.
Oh, shit!
You did it.
Fuck.
You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power.
Of course
Otherwise,
I did.
We would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless.
Right.
You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
Ah. Right, of course.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Yeah, this seems right to me. Is it not right? The bucket's still here. What's up, man?
One man, one bucket.
Okay.
One chance to seize their destiny together.
I do wonder if I go through the new content with the bucket and eventually get back to the Stanley Parable 2, could I, like, create a paradox where there are two buckets? Let me just go see.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Did I already try this? Does the bucket, like, disappear from my hands? Oh, no, okay. Cool. Maybe I haven't tried this yet.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Yay!
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Of course it was.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Yeah, man.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Wait, Stanley, I've just now realized. That bucket you're holding, it's the bucket I've been working on for my sequel. How did you get your hands on it? Isn't this the preview to the sequel? How do you have the bucket already? This makes no sense at all.
True. And yet here we are.
Hold on. Did I already show you my ideas for the sequel?
Yes.
I don't remember doing that at all. You're seeing things all out of order.
Debatably. Maybe I'm seeing them in the right order for the first time.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle?
Yes. But I don't have any more jumps left because I already used all of them up. Oh well. Not much to do there, I guess.
The infinite hole, the giant door. Did you see them already? Stanley, none of...
Giant door? Giant door? Giant door? Did we see a giant door? I don't
Of
remember.
them are ready yet. I'm still developing them. They're not even close to finished. How did they look when you saw them? Were they captivating? Were they exciting?
Well,
did they fulfill
the
on the
bucket was
promise
nice.
of everything that a sequel to Stanley Parable could possibly be? Had I figured out how the hell to make a sequel to this game?
No, if I recall correctly.
Wait, if you're still carrying the bucket around with you, if the bucket is interesting to you, that means I must have made it correctly.
True.
Yes. You carrying the bucket with you everywhere is exactly what I set out to accomplish.
Fun. Now
The
I'm in
bucket
here.
is the exciting and captivating new content that I promised. I did it! I win! I made a sequel to the Stanley Parable. Yes, the sign is correct. Thank you for enjoying the new content. Thank you for taking the bucket
it all comes
everywhere
full
with
circle.
you. Clinging tightly to the bucket, never letting it go. It means I've won. It means I am victorious over the gamers. It is a sweet
Over the
salve of
gamers.
victory on my soul. Thank you for enjoying the new content. The bucket is the Stanley Parable now. They are one and the same. There is no Stanley Parable without the bucket. I win, 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 I win.
I win. True. I guess it was just all a really roundabout way of saying, yeah, this is the sequel to the Stanley Parable.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps it's bucket time.
It's bucket time. So what's in here now then? Aha, yes. Let's see now. What will happen if I bring the bucket with me to the origin of the bucket? Then there will be 2 buckets. Could you make infinite buckets this way? I don't know. We'll just have to find out, won't we?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this Ultra Deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this Ultra Deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Yeah! This is like the 3rd time we've seen this now.
Yes, you see, isn't this far
Oh, what the
superior
fuck
to a
was that?
measly re-release with a few
that's
minor
good.
additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be
Yes.
clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Okay. Well, guys, let's go figure it out. Yeah, so that glitch with the plant, by the way, is I'm pretty sure just because my graphics card needs an update, or like my driver, and not because the game has a glitch. So, good to know. Ah, the bucket's gone. I see, because I'm holding it. Well, should I put it back?
Wait, there are 2 buckets here.
No.
How did you get a second bucket?
Oh,
no.
there it is.
The warmth and comfort of a single bucket is already so great, so intoxicatingly wonderful. With 2 buckets, there's no telling. Stanley, can you still hear me? Are you with me?
I grabbed the second bucket.
Stanley!
Oh, shit.
Oh, thank God.
What,
I
both
didn't
are
lose
gone?
you.
Oh, come
Stanley,
on.
The power of
No,
2 buckets
bucket.
was too much. I had to destroy both of them. I know how
Lame.
much the bucket meant to you, but I couldn't take the risk. I hope one day you can forgive me.
Come on. What? Oh, wait a minute. Settings World Championship. I was looking. Hold on. I'm going to make it just me for a sec so I can look for something. Now that I'm here again, without my bucket, let me look, because I remember I was looking at the achievements for this game, and there was one called Settings World Champion, and it was something. I don't remember, but I'm going to go look at it. Achievements. Locked achievements. Set all the settings sliders in the menu to all the available numbers. So, what does that really mean, though? Do I genuinely have to go like 1, 2, 3, 4? Okay, I can just do that. Mass sensitivity. Oh, shit. Hold on. And this one. Off, on. Yeah, we'll look at all these languages. I think this should count, right? This better count. Oh, wait, shit. I didn't show the game again. Hold on. Forgot to actually show what I'm doing. I'm going in and I'm just doing all the things again. Okay, audio. Wow, guys, this is so much fun, and I'm sure it's totally worth it. Okay.
This is.
Oh, that was weird. Oh, I see. It's like, wait.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. This is the story of a man named Stanley. This is the story of a man named Stanley. This is the story of a man.
That was weird. Okay. This is all totally worth it, I swear. Should I do this on stream? I don't know. It'll make for great content, you know? Can I please? There we go. Cool. Change all those, I guess. Full screen. Do I have to do these? Do I have to apply all of them individually? I don't know. $60. Why is there a yellow border now? What the hell? I don't really like that there's a yellow border now, but hold on. Let me try something here. Go back into it. Will that go away if I... Oh, no, that's just still there. That's kind of weird. I don't know why that made... Okay. I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, I mean, did that not count? Oh, my FOB is so high. Hold on. Can I reset settings? Yes. Subtitles on. Okay. Yeah, not sure what's up with the yellow border, but, you know. Where's the damn... Oh, it's over here. So I don't know if any of y'all remember, but the last time I was here, there was this door called Settings World Champion. I don't know if it'll open now that I just heard something really weird. I don't know what that was. Fuck, it still doesn't work. Do I need to... I don't know what I need to do anymore. Fuck, okay, well, that was all for nothing. Great. Loved doing that. So glad I did that. Okay, well, in that case, I think I'm going to begin the game again here real quick. Okay, you know what? That yellow border is bothering me. I'm going to do this for a moment. I'm going to restart the game. We'll see if that fixes it. Oh, apparently just doing whatever I just did fixed it. So let's do this again. Oh, it must be something with OBS. I'm going to try restarting the game anyway, just to see if that fixes it. Sorry, everyone. Just one moment here while I fix things. Boop-a-da-boopy. Bop-a-da-boopy-boop. Quit to menu. Quit to desktop. Yes. Yes, of course. Boop, 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 ba-doo-doo. Okay, seems like it's fixed itself. And I think, yeah, we gotta choose a new title. All right, avoid the electrode, avoid the cowboy. Stanley Parable 5, avoid the cowboy, avoid the moon, baby electrode, baby cowboy. Stanley's Big Cowboy. Stanley's Big Ice Cream. Liquid Cowboy? It's a sick band name. I like Baby Cowboy. Stanley Parable 5, Baby Cowboy. Yeah. Pump the mic. This is fun. Alright, let's try. Before we do the confusion ending, I wanna... Oh, I have to go through all that again. Okay.
All of his co-workers
I'll just
gone.
grab the
What
bucket
could it
and I'll
mean?
go do the
Stanley
confusion
decided
ending.
to go to the meeting room. It's bucket time.
It's bucket time. Unless this is already 2. No, it's... Wait, oh, it is. Okay. In that case, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to jump down the hole, the infinite hole with the bucket. And then after I try that out, I will go to do... I will feed the bucket to the bucket... the bucket destroyer? Was maybe the name of it?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this Ultra Deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this Ultra Deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever...
The first time
Stanley
ever.
Parable
I've never
2.
seen this before. Oh man, crazy. Alright, come on,
Yes,
bucket.
you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new
Why is my
experience
bucket fully
built from the
dark
ground
right
up.
here?
Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in
weird.
so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical.
Yes.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Do you think this will be any different?
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is.
Of course.
Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature.
This is the same,
Just
but for the
play
sake of
along.
it,
I promise you'll love
I'll
it.
role-play as Jim.
Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want... Jim. Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button.
I get it.
Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim. Imagine you're... All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
I will.
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable 2. They would appreciate what I've created here.
Yeah, I'm sure they would. Here's the hole. Here's the hole. Hole time. It's time for hole.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so.
So true.
Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Will this be the same if I keep the bucket?
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things. Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree?
Okay, I think this ending is the same. So it's time, friends, to destroy
all of his
the
co-workers
bucket.
were gone. What could it mean?
Once and for all.
Stanley decided
maybe.
to go to the meeting
I don't even
room.
know if this will
It's
actually destroy the bucket.
time.
But it'll be the last ending I do this stream, I think, and it might be
Stanley clutched the
all
bucket
I know
tightly
how
to
to
his
do
chest.
in
This
the Stanley
was not the
Parable
correct way to
Ultra
the meeting
Deluxe.
room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind.
No,
the bucket was
never
wrong.
mind.
Stanley
And I know
took the
that
door on his left
I can't
to
take
go
the
back to
bucket
and so
to
the two of them
the two
detoured through
doors,
the maintenance
the red and
section
the blue
and
door.
walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
All right. I have to destroy this dang bucket, guys. It's gotta happen.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line?
Yes.
We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, that's... Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up. Don't you get it, Stanley?
Fine.
We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Okay.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket.
Hey, why is the bucket just looking at me?
What the Bucket Destroyer
Wait.
will do if it can't destroy your bucket.
actually
Destroying
work?
buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait.
I'm really trying.
Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really
Can I
explore
actually
the Bucket
not?
Destroyer,
Okay,
you would see
wow,
that
okay.
its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley
really
Parable
trying.
characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
It's the
Bucket
same.
Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much
Alright, I
potential.
need to see all this. I need to see all this again. The fucking Bucket Destroyer. Who cares? Who cares? Okay. Well, I mean, you know, that might be it. That might be the entirety of the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. I believe I have found all the endings. There's probably more, honestly, but I'm not really sure what else to do. So I think that might be it. You know, if there's anything that you want me to do on stream with it, I can, you know, just let me know. And maybe I will do it. I can stream again. I guess the only other thing I would be willing to try to do is to go to the skip button again and to actually listen to all the dialogue that the narrator has to say without skipping it. Otherwise, that's it. And I think I'm going to end the stream now. So thank you all for coming. Those who did come, even if it was, for a short time. I appreciate it. And if you're watching the VOD afterwards, I also appreciate that. And I will see you all the next time I stream. If I do stream again, I will probably stream Portal 2. I've been wanting to do that for a while. A friend of mine once challenged me to record myself or live stream myself playing Portal 2 and reciting all of the dialogue as I play it, which I think I can do. So, I know that just meant that it is so attractive in a person to be able to recite the entire script of Portal 2. So, I know. It's okay. Anyway, yeah. I'm gonna leave now. I hope you all have enjoyed. I'm British now, apparently. Alright. Close the game real quick here so I don't leave it open. Yeah! We'll have this music play us out. Alright. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.